up, my have it alls? It's your girl Jazz Marie, aka She Have It All, and we are back on the case with She Have It All. As you guys know, if you have not heard already, we have an extreme dangerous case that just came on our table, and I'm gonna need my Have It All crew to help me solve this case. Okay, what we have is the notebook of a police detective that is actually missing as well. I repeat, she is actually missing as well. So I want to go over this with you guys. So first of all, when we open this, we need to read this first. We need to first get started here. This says, I need your help. And it says, please read first. So when you open this, you first have instructions. So this unsolved case files game, it is a game, lets you solve a fictional crime using detectives, notebook, and evidence from the investigation. This is case G668H. Identify the accomplice. So we're going to identify the accomplice. That's our first task. Identify the accomplice. When you identify the person who set up the twins, visit the website to prove it. So our first objective is to identify the person who set the twins up. Okay, this is a picture of our twins. Avery and Zoey lived at 5 Lakeshore Drive. Okay, so this is the picture that we have of the girls. And so this is basically what we're reading from. This says, please help. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys this in retrospect to... Okay, guys, and I don't know if I said it before, but quick disclaimer, this is a game. This is the Unsolved Case Files game. I want you guys to play with me. If you have not checked out my first video, make sure you go check that out now. I will link it in the description box below if you guys want to check that out. So, yes, we have the case of Avery and Zoey. Oh, Zoey. All right. This is Jackson Paulson. I'm an officer at the Davenport Police Department, and I desperately need your help. At 4:30 this morning, I responded to a 911 call from 19-year-old Avery Gardner, who was alone with her twin sister Zoey. An attacker had broken into their house on Ashcroft Lake. By the time I got there, it was too late. The monster had already strangled Avery and left, taking Zoey with him. The entire Davenport PD, along with nearly every police department across the state, and I have been searching relentlessly for Zoey and the killer, while our chief homicide detective, Angie Cullen, led the investigation. Angie's not just the best detective I've ever met, she's also my fiance. Okay, so this is Jack Paulson. He's talking about his fiance, Angie Cullen, who leads the investigation for these two girls. We're getting married next spring. Several hours ago, she sent me a text that said, I'd figure out the accomplice and nothing else. She hasn't replied or answered her phone since. And as tough as Angie is, I'm really worried. I stopped by her house and she left her notebook and phone on the counter. So I checked our driveway security camera and watched her sprint to her car and peel out moments after sending that text to me. It's unlike Angie to leave her notebook behind, but it's clear she had cracked open the case and was in a rush. She even left some leftovers warming in the oven. Angie is in trouble, but her notebook and these investigation items are all I have, and I can't make any sense of it. She needs our help. I have to keep looking for her, but I could really use your help. If you can identify the accomplice she went after, please tell me ASAP. Both sincerely and urgently, Jack Paulson. What are we thinking, guys? So it's already skeptical. This is the first thing that we're looking at. I showed y'all a picture of the girls. This is a close-up. So unfortunately, it looks like Avery was strangled and Zoey is missing. And we also have a missing detective by the name of Angie Cullen. Okay, so this is basically her notebook that we're going to be going off of. She led the investigation for the girls, and we'll see what her notes say about the case. Okay, so first we have this newspaper clipping here. Can you guys see it? This is the newspaper clipping about what happened at the lake. So we're going to read this we're going to read this newspaper clipping so we can get a better identity of Avery and Zoey. Okay, so this is 19-year-old activist killed while twin sister abducted from Davenport Lake House. Now, I want you guys to know, if you are detectives like me, you should already be taking notes. What was important out of that sentence right there? Just right there, I already have something in my head. 19-year-old activist killed. She was an activist. Okay? So that's like something to put a finger on. And Avery is the one who was killed. So 19-year-old activist killed while twin sister abducted from Davenport Lake House. Okay? So our local community is in shock and on high alert today with news of a frightening incident during the early morning hours that left a 19-year-old Woodbury woman dead and her twin sister missing. At approximately 4:30 a.m. this morning, Avery Gardner called 911 to report a break-in at her family's lake house in Davenport. She was alone with her twin sister Zoey at their home on Ashcroft Lake. Avery reported that an unidentified man had broken into the house, tied up her sister, and was coming for her just before her connection to the 911 operator was lost. By the time police arrived at the scene, they found Avery dead inside the house and no sign of either her sister Zoey or the intruder. A statewide manhunt soon followed as police departments throughout the region set up roadblocks and activated additional personnel, including K9 and helicopter units, to help track down the killer and save Zoey. At this point, neither has been found. Detective Angie Cullen is leading the investigation for the Davenport Police Department and made a brief statement to the press during a news conference at 11 a.m. this morning in front of the Davenport Police Station. Y'all can see that's a picture there of Miss Angie Cullen. Homicide Detective Angie Cullen leads the Gardner twins murder and investigation and missing persons search. Okay. And again, this is a picture of Avery and Zoey here. It says Avery and Zoey Gardner are victims of last night's break-in at their family lake house in Davenport. Avery was murdered. Zoey is still missing. Okay. We have reason to believe Zoey Gardner is still alive, and we're doing absolutely everything in our power to bring her back to her already grieving family. I personally delivered the horrible news of Avery's death to her mother this morning, and I'm not going to do it again, said Detective Cullen. The Gardner twins were born and raised here in Portland, where they graduated from Woodbury High School last year. While students at WHS, they gained popularity for calling attention to illegal logging practices that were taking place in the Davenport Preserve. Always together, the twins lived in Woodbury with their mother, local pediatrician Maureen Hamilton, and their stepfather, Stephen Welch. Zoey and Avery were both freshmen in the Environmental Studies program at Seattle College. Detective Cullen is maintaining a positive outlook on the search for Zoey and added, "We have several promising leads on the case. We're going to find Zoey, and we're going to hunt down the people responsible for what happened here today. We will bring Zoey home alive. We'll solve this case together." You hear that, have it all? We'll solve it together. If you have any questions on this time-sensitive case, please call the Davenport Police tip line at 503-555-0681. All tips and informants will be kept strictly confidential. Okay, you guys? Comment down below. Well, it's not really nothing that we can really think so far because we don't have the players here, right? So what they said was the first thing we have to do is name the accomplice, right? That's what they told us here. So before we can open up packet number 1, we have to identify the person who set the twins up. Okay, so I'm going to, what we're going to do, so y'all already know, if y'all haven't seen the last video, we're going to have to get our crime wall together, okay? And that's where I basically put up all the pictures of our key players. Oh, no. We're going to put up the picture of our crime scene. Okay? We're going to put up the picture of our crime scene. This notebook right here, this is from Angie Cullen. This is basically giving us a play-by-play of what happened since she arrived on the scene. And remember, this is all we have. We have this and we have some crime scene photos. Okay? So I'm going to let you guys sit on that for a minute. Get your thoughts together. What are we thinking here? So they thinking somebody set them up. Interesting. Now we're gonna have to go through a lot of information here to see who would have possibly set these girls up. So, okay, these are our our evidence envelopes that we're not allowed to open until we hit each part. So this is evidence folder A, which we're not able to open until we find out our victim. Once we do that, then they'll tell us once we finish the next part. This is the second one. And then we have envelope C for our last and final clue. So we'll get into these, okay? So this came with it. We also have a evidence packet here. Okay. We definitely gonna have to get into what some of this stuff means. So just right off the bat, without even looking at anything, we have a suspicious identification that was left on the scene of the murder. Can y'all see that? We have suspicious identification that was left. I'm not really sure what this has to do with anything, but we shall see. We shall see what that has to do with anything. That's a picture with some horns drawn on it. Okay. It looked like we also have this, which is a bunch of different cards. So this one says pediatrics. This one is a law card. So it's basically a bunch of different cards. But also in the stack of these cards is our detective, Miss Angie Cullen. So she's amongst these stacks of business cards here. Okay. That makes you think, right? What's going on here? So we have that. Then we have our crime scene photos, which we're going to get into once we put our wall up. So I'm going to show y'all those in a little. Or should I show it now, and then once we start breaking it down, should I then give it to y'all? Okay. So we have the 911 phone call transcript. We have the first responders report. Okay, we have the crime scene investigation report. We have the autopsy of the sister that passed. We have a map. Looks like we have 2 maps of the location, and then it looks like we have 3 suspect profiles here for a Lenny Nelson, a Vince Wolf, and a David Bateman. Okay. And then here they got a picture of everything that you're supposed to have inside of your investigation packet, which we have. Okay, so where should we start? I mean, okay, we always start off by looking at the crime scene photos. Don't we? Should we do the wall, guys? Let me see. Okay, I've decided I'm going to show you each picture individually, and then when we start going over case details and reading all of our reports and everything, then we'll have the pictures up as a reference for you guys, okay? So right now I'm just going to show y'all what we have, okay? So this is us being called on the scene, guys. We're being called on the scene, and this is the first things that we've seen, okay? They called us. It's the middle of the night. We're waking up. Now let's go see what's going on, okay? First we have a picture of a suspicious identification that was left outside of the Lakeshore home. Okay. Second, we have this picture here, which looks like it's the window ledge, possibly with hair stuck in it of some sort. So we'll give you guys a close-up of that. Okay. We also have a bit of a struggle going on. Some things knocked around on the floor. The plant is knocked over. The picture of the sisters on the floor. There's blood there. Well, I'm going to let you guys look at it. But as you guys can see, there's a struggle happening here. All right. Then we have a picture of the alarm. Can y'all see what that say? Looks like the alarm was still active. The alarm was on. It says alarm active. Y'all see that? Okay. Next, we have a picture of a shattered phone. Broken phone found on the floor. Okay, looks to be an iPhone. Next, we have a picture of a tattoo. We're not sure what that means yet, what part it's going to play here in this case, but this is what we have. We also have, now be advised, okay, these pictures are gruesome. Okay, we have a picture of the deceased hand. Looked like she was injured in some sort of way. The hand is cut and bleeding. Okay. So that also lets me know as well that I feel like there was definitely a struggle here. She definitely probably tried to fight back, put her hand up in defense possibly. Okay. Bear with me, guys. Then we have another photo here of the deceased. It looks like ligature marks around her neck. Yes. I'm a detective. Y'all hear the words. Okay. Ligature marks around the neck. Yes. Okay, so it looked like she might have been strangled. Okay, and this is a full look at what the Mrs. Avery partner looked like on the scene. Appeared to be found in the bedroom on the floor. Okay. All right, and here we have a picture of the lake house that they were found at, or that the sister was found deceased in. Okay, really nice cabin home. That's nice there. Okay, you guys, so that's going to get us started on this case with She Have It All. I know this is not everybody's cup of tea. If this is not something that you're into, I definitely understand. You could definitely go ahead and just go to the next video, check out some of my hauls, check out some of my other content, my vlogs that I got for you guys. But this is specifically a game for my crime lovers like me, who think that they like the Detective Stables of the world, the Detective Bensons of the world. That's me, y'all. I've been watching all the crime shows, so I am ready to crack and solve this case. All right. Comment down below if you have any theories already. If you already know, do not ruin the game. We are just getting started. So make sure you guys subscribe. You do not want to miss this. That's just our intro. We will be back with more details on what happened in the case of a 19-year-old Avery and Zoey Gardner. Until next time.